Hey guys, Garrett here with another episode of Trail Reel. Today we're going to be putting a gear grabber or a gated shifter in this Pro XP. I've been looking on YouTube. There's not very many videos on anything with the Pro XP. If this video is useful, please let me know in the comments, because I have a bunch of other stuff I want to do with this machine. We have springs ordered, tender springs ordered, clutch kit, wheel bearings, etc. Just a whole bunch of stuff. And like I said, let me know if it's useful to you, and we'll do a few more. Hey guys, so I've already taken the seats out. That's pretty simple. If you don't know how to take your seats out, you probably don't need to be doing this. So first off, this rubber piece right here, you just take it off, it pops out, set it up there anyway, and you're gonna see a screw right here. It's T40. Take that T40 out, and this just unsnaps. It's got little snaps in it. You might have to wiggle it a little bit, pop it with a screwdriver maybe. Snaps out. The next step I'm gonna do is with the same T40, right down through here, there's some screws. I'm gonna take this console out so I can see all this stuff really good. And I'm also gonna take this back piece off. Those are pretty simple, just little push snaps. Push it, turn it, push it, turn it, push it, turn it, and it pops off. I'll be right back as soon as I get all this off. All right guys, so there's T40 bolts all down the side of this thing and all down through here that go all the way up into there. I think there's 5 on each side, both sides. The only way that I've figured out how to get this thing out the easiest way without removing your whole dash is I've kind of pried the side of this, and it hasn't hurt it at all. It's pretty flexible stuff, and I think it's going to come out that way. I just wanted to take a video before we actually done it and got it out. So stay tuned.
Guys, we just ran into a little snag here trying to get this gated shifter in, getting this center console piece out. This side didn't want to budge. It looks like we've got some kind of wired module hanging on for dear life, so we're gonna have to pop that off.
I think it's a fuse box.
Yeah, maybe the fuse. Yeah, it's a fuse box. There's some relays in there.
It's a fuse box, just 2 bolts. They look like 8 millimeters, maybe. Pop them out, and I think it's gonna come right out.
That was the only thing that was holding us back. I felt a little resistance on this side and thought it might have been bolted up somewhere else, but yeah, the wires just. Oh. There's some news some of you won't like to hear. She's
10,
a 10.
10 millimeters.
She's a 10. Did you get her off? Let's just
hang on, let me get on this.
All right, we'll see what we can't do here. See if I can do this one-handed and we'll just pull her out.
I've got all my bolts right here, so I may need to pause it and come back.
No, we'll just, I'm sure other people do that too, because I know I'm bad about it. That's usually my go-to bolt collection spot. I'm gonna try this one-handed. Where you hung up at?
Just kind of in a bind. Pull that, has your side up. Yeah, like that.
There she comes.
Oh, hold up, I see what it is. There's a little flap in here. There
Oh.
we go.
Make sure we're free. I'm free over here, except for I guess these little mood lights.
Let's see, let's put it in high, that'll help.
Yeah, there you go. Are those even wired up right now?
What's that?
The blue lights that go in.
Yeah, they are. See the
Okay.
wire, see the plug.
Well, she's almost out. That's better progress than I'd imagine.
We video?
Yep.
All right, come over here so you can see.
What you got?
All right, we got these little blue floorboard lights right here. It's just, if you can see it up in there, red. Yep, there's a little plug in there. Just snap that, unplug it. And I believe that goes to your cigarette lighter in here too. So just be sure to unsnap that once you get it out to here. You don't rip your wires out.
Get back over here rocking. See ya. She's free.
That's it.
I got all the room to put the gauge shifter in.
Okay guys, so we finally got the center console out, and this is what we're looking at right here. Looks like some kind of little snap ring is gonna come off right here, knock this rod out. And then the rest is gonna be pretty simple, I believe. Just put that gated shifter in here, hook this up, and you know, I might have to do a little bit of adjusting here or there, but don't worry, I'm gonna try to document all that. Okay guys, back on your center console, I just found something I didn't know about. I've had my XP for a while. When you're running your wires, like winch, whatever you want to run, maybe rock lights, up here on the front of the machine, there's a place for all your winch wires and wires to run through your dash, just like on a vehicle. Okay, on the front of your console, I've actually run mine up through here and then come out back there somewhere. You can run them in through right here, and it keeps them from popping out. Anybody with a Pro XP will know they kind of pop out right here and dangle over on the passenger side, and they can be aggravating. But since you can run them through here, they'll be pretty tight through your console all the way to the back of the machine, like your radio speakers, rock lights for the back, whip lights maybe, etc. I just thought that was pretty neat. Heads up, it is not cut. So like, at first you can't, it's not open. You'll have to cut a little hole in it. Just a heads up, and that may be something handy to do while you have this out of your machine. All right, so we got the center console out. Over there out of the way. Looks like, I don't know if you can see it, that's just a little old snap ring. That's all this is. Take a screwdriver and stick it in there, flathead, pop that off. And this bar here is gonna slide out that side. Then you have the linkage down here where you take it apart, and then your old shifter should come right out. I'm gonna do a video after I get it out. All right, so I got the snap ring off, fixing to pop this thing out. Right here, guys, there's a shim. Make sure whenever you pop all this stuff out that you don't lose that shim. There's gonna be one right here too, on this side. So like I said, just make sure, go ahead and pull that one out. Make sure that you don't lose these shims. I don't know yet if you're gonna need them. I may need them for the particular shifter that I got. I may not. You may need them for the one that you have. And like I said, just don't throw these away and make sure you don't lose them, because you may end up needing them later. Then we're about to take this little nut off right here, and that's gonna free the shifter the rest of the way up. We're gonna start putting the new one back in. All right guys, so this is the base that come with my shifter. It's got these little washers here. They're machined, have little grooves right there. So I'm just doing this step by step as I'm going. So if I mess up, we'll get it the right way eventually. I'm assuming that that's gonna make sure that ring is gonna go, it's gonna kind of lock in there like that. We're gonna put this, start this bolt in here. And these are Allen head bolts, by the way. What size is that?
Don't say.
Don't say. Anyways, these are Allen head bolts, by the way. Not really sure what size they are. Go ahead and run that rod back through there. Start it back so we can get this lined up. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this rod and just getting this line back up for these, where these things will seat up where they need to be at. I'm just gonna snug them up a little bit for right now. And it looks like on mine I'm not gonna have to use them little plastic washers that I told you to keep. But like I said, you may want to keep them on yours because it's a good possibility you might need them. That looks good. I think we're about ready to put the shifter in. Go ahead. All right, guys. So then plastic spacers, I do need them. Mine go in just right here on the actual shifter itself on each side. And that keeps this rod from having all that flop in it. So that's pretty important to have that in there. I'm just gonna hold that up right there. Get this in here. And my machine's in reverse right now, so that's reverse. So I'm gonna try to hold it kind of in that particular spot while I'm driving this rod in here. Guys, let's see, you video on this? Yep. I think I have, this doesn't look too right to me. I got a little bit of flop in it right here for some reason. I don't know why. It may be because this rod isn't all the way in, so I'm gonna get a hammer, see if I can fix it. Ow! Gotta love them. So that's not working. Like I said, it's not. Yeah, I know, it's not gonna work. I wonder what this adjustable screw is gonna do right here. Oh, okay. Right here, there's a little thing I just noticed. What I'm doing is I'm backing it out, and that's taking the slack out of this shifter. Now, whether or not I'm gonna have enough threads on this, I do not know. Well, it's looking like it's gonna work. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that tightened that up a good bit right there. So right here's an adjustment, folks, to get that flop out of that. And that's, well, okay, my rod's backing out, that's what it is. I'm gonna run it back in and go ahead and put this lock on now that I know that it's gonna work the way it needs to.
Run it in some more.
Yeah, it's wanting to bounce with me for some reason.
Yeah, you
okay.
have to run that in.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right. This thing right here has little teeth on it. You want to be sure that you get this all the way up flush. This here, so what that's going to do is it's going to grab it. See how it's spinning right now? You don't want that.
Broke your little bush.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Dadgummit. That's not good, folks. Going to get a new one.
Heating and a beating welding service.
All right, guys, so I was hitting on this and ended up breaking that plastic washer in here. Me personally, I'm not gonna wait to get a new one because the inner part of this bushing is still inside of that. And all this is the plastic ring that broke. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave that piece there, in there. I don't think it'd make much of a difference if you took it out or if you didn't. But I'm gonna leave mine in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and snap the snap ring on this side back down on there. And all I'm gonna do is just take a screwdriver. I'm sure they make a tool for this, but here at Heatin and Beatin, we don't have that. I'm sure you probably won't either. So that worked pretty simple and easy, just doing that. Now I'm gonna take and adjust this back out right here, now that I've got everything bolted down. Let's see how good it works. Okay, that's pretty tight, folks. I mean, it's not, I don't have it actually hooked up to my transmission yet, but as far as side to side, it's really tight. And I haven't got this nut tight either on this top part, so that's where a little bit of that play is coming from. So I think it's gonna work fine. I'm comfortable with it. That's probably something you're gonna do. That's why I put it back in the video, because I mean, they're pretty cheap. It's just plastic. I don't see it's gonna hurt anything. If it does, I'll put it in the comments in the video and let you know if it causes issues later and I have to go back and fix it. All right, guys, so trying to make a damn video in here.
Well, where's the camera? Where's the...
Oh, you're on camera right now.
Oh shit.
You're in it now.
All right, guys, so my shifter didn't come with this hardware. I'm just gonna use this one off my old one. Here it is. Just gonna take it out and stick it on this one. See how it works. We may have to adjust it back and forth. I don't know yet.
Don't forget to spit on it.
Yeah. I don't think we can put that in the video.
I don't see why not.
Let's see here. This is not gonna work. This little washer here goes on this. What would you call that? Down here on your shifter cable where this bolt goes through your actual shifter, this little washer goes on here, and I nearly lost mine. It just helps keep all this stuff tight, and it'll probably help keep from breaking your shifter cable, I'm sure. Because the more slack you get in it, more tendency you'll probably have a breaking. Everything come together pretty tight on mine. Let's see here. Yeah. It's low, reverse, and then high. There's part. Feels pretty good, folks. Fixing to start putting the plastics back together.
I would adjust it.
All right, guys, whenever you get all this done, it looks like you feel like it's right, go ahead and crank your machine up and make sure that it's actually taking gear the way that you think it should. Like mine right now, it's in park. It says it's in park. It is in park. There's reverse. It's in reverse. Low. There's high. And all the way back to reverse. So everything's good and it's working right. I'd recommend doing that. I almost didn't. Old Tommy over here, the wonderful Tom, told me I probably needed to do it, and he's right. So y'all probably want to do it too, because it would be aggravating to get all this stuff put back together and something be off. But anyways, fixing to start going back together with plastics.
Show them where you adjust it if you do have to adjust it.
Yeah. Show 'em, huh?
That linkage right there, you adjust it. All you do is tighten and loosen that till it goes in where it needs to go.
Okay guys, I just got the center console back in. It's a little bit dark in here, so I'm using my flashlight. Just a heads up, that right there was the biggest pain of the whole job. And don't hold me to it. I may not be taking it in and out the correct way. You may actually need to take the dash out. I'm not sure. It worked. I just took them bolts out along that. There's a couple of them plastic clips on both sides. This way worked for me, guys. Like I said, may not be the best way, but all this bent and it went back fine, and it didn't hurt it at all. So maybe you'll have as good as a luck with it as I do. The rest of it's pretty simple. Just put all the bolts, back in this and up there. Make sure when you put this back in, before you get it to here, plug your cigarette lighter and your floorboard lights back up that I showed you earlier in the video. Up there, just that one plug before you get this in here, because that is going to be a pain in the rear, having to pull that back out and realize, oh, my cigarette lighter don't work, or oh, my floorboard lights aren't working. You're gonna be mad at yourself when you have to do that. But like I said, other than that, right here, I think I mentioned it earlier in the video. I'll grab my light so I can see. Right here, there's 2 wires that you need to unplug for this cigarette outlet right here. Like I said, it's just 2 wires. Don't forget to hook them back up before you go any farther with this stage. And that's basically it, guys. I'm gonna do a finished, everything installed ending. But I'm gonna go ahead and button all this stuff back up. Like I said, the rest of it's pretty simple. You know, putting your back pieces back in and your seats really is about it. And snapping this stuff, you know, back into place the same way that it come apart. Okay guys, I just got the center console back in. It's a little bit dark in here, so I'm using my flashlight. Just a heads up, that right there was the biggest pain of the whole job. And don't hold me to it. I may not be taking it in and out the correct way. You may actually need to take the dash out. I'm not sure. It worked. I just took them bolts out along that. There's a couple of them plastic clips on both sides. This way worked for me, guys. Like I said, may not be the best way, but all this bent and it went back fine, and it didn't hurt it at all. So maybe you'll have as good as a luck with it as I do. The rest of it's pretty simple. Just put all the bolts, you know, back in this and up there. Make sure when you put this back in, before you get it to here, plug your cigarette lighter and your floorboard lights back up that I showed you earlier in the video. Up there, just that one plug before you get this in here, because that is going to be a pain in the rear, having to pull that back out and realize, oh, my cigarette lighter don't work, or oh, my floorboard lights aren't working. You're gonna be mad at yourself when you have to do that. But like I said, other than that, right here, I think I mentioned it earlier in the video. And grab my light so I can see. Right here, there's 2 wires that you need to unplug for this cigarette outlet right here. Like I said, it's just 2 wires. Don't forget to hook them back up before you go any farther with this stage. And that's basically it, guys. I'm gonna do a finished, everything installed ending. But I'm gonna go ahead and button all this stuff back up. Like I said, the rest of it's pretty simple. You know, putting your back pieces back in and your seats really is about it. And snapping this stuff, you know, back into place the same way that it come apart. Okay, y'all, here it is. It's in there, everything's back together. My plugs work, shifter works. Well, I said it did. There we go. I just don't know how to use it. Okay, anyways, shifter works. I'd say the hardest part of the whole job was getting this out of the way. And I really didn't see a way around it, because that rod that runs through that base that holds your shifter and stuff, it's got to come out. So I really don't see a way of doing this without having to take that out. Like I said, I don't know that I've done it the correct way. That's the way I done it. And there's no bend marks in my plastic or anything like that. I had to pry on it pretty good to get it out. Relatively simple. I think you and a friend probably knock it out in, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 hours if you stayed steady at it. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like I said, just let me know if this was helpful, because like I said, we got a bunch of stuff coming. Here's a tender springs and the primary springs stuff we're fixing to put on there. I'm assuming these are black, just like the tender spring. See if I can get them open. Oh no, they're silver for some reason. I'm gonna have to paint them. I got something here. I don't know what that is. That's a whole nother video. Like I said, I'll show you how I do all this. We got a tool that does it. It's pretty simple, but y'all just let me know. Like I said, if this video was helpful to anybody, thanks. And then this is the tools that I use for the job. Flathead screwdriver, T40, 10 millimeter to get the fuse box out with, hammer, 3/4 drive ratchet, needle nose pliers that are bent on the end, and a 13mm wrench to get that little nut off your bolt that goes through the shifter cable. And then my little electric ratchet.